Welcome back to the Healing Business Revolution podcast. My name is Frida Kabo, and in this episode, I want to talk about why success can feel surprisingly unsafe. So, we talk about the fear of failure and the fear of not reaching where we want to go. But we rarely talk about the fear of actually growing into where we want to go. And that's what I want to explore with you in this episode. From this viewpoint, we can look at belonging, identity, family dynamics, and change. So yeah, what am I talking about? Well, if we start looking at identity, we have different beliefs and different viewpoints and different set of things that have us look at ourselves with a specific identity that we identify with. And when we reach what we want, sometimes we assume that that will have us change in some way. So we really outgrow our old identity. And sometimes it can feel like this happens when we reach something, but the reality is that we actually need to change our identity on our way there. So we become the one who does that. And if we're not aware of this, this can hold us back because it can create some grief around us changing. It can create grief around who we thought we would be by now. It can create grief around and a bit of lack that we're not there yet. So what we need to see is that we are someone who are doing it. We are not waiting to become someone when we've done that. We are someone who are working on having a successful business. And as I said, this can create grief around other things that we might miss out on or friends that we might lose because they are not growing in the same direction, or even partners. And that brings us back to the belonging. And as humans, we are always looking to belong. Looking back, it was vital for our survival to belong to a group. With the modern society, it's not as important, but it's still important. Like our well-being, our growth, our health, our everything is also in line with belonging and who we belong to. So how we identify ourselves also decides our belonging. As I said, we can lose some friends that we have to go through that grieving process of losing our identity, but also finding new places to belong to. Finding new people that want to create what we want to create, feeling like we belong, that our identity is growing with the people that we hang out with. And this is also where we can go into the family dynamics. Is what you're doing something that is considered safe or loyal to the family system? I have a good relationship with my mom and we always talk on the phone. And when I started my business, I had to pause that for a bit because I felt like I was changing so much in myself. So I had to find that new way of being with her as well. And she was always asking me like, oh, how is it going? How is it going? And I appreciate her concern, but I also felt like I had to like explain everything to her and say exactly the numbers and everything. And I had to find a new way of relating to her and in myself as well, relating to how I wanted to be in this new phase of my life. So I really had to pause that with my mom, and that was a bit scary, but it was only for a while, and now we talk every week again, which is beautiful since I live on the other side of the world. But yeah, family dynamics, like what is safe? Are you being successful? Are you really being loyal to your family system? I read somewhere that you unconsciously can't be more successful than your parents. So think about that. Look at your parents and see, okay, how successful were they? And do I allow myself to be more successful than them? And just becoming aware of this, just becoming aware that there's an hidden loyalty there, we can change it and we can create life our way instead of holding on to those loyalties. There can also be a fear of success, especially as healers. I know a lot of us have burned out from a normal job trying to do the success the normal way and not feeling like we fit in or burnt out or just feeling like it was too much. And going back to business, if we haven't looked at exactly how we want it, we can recreate that old pattern of how we used to work and feeling like it's too much, taking on too much, and just thinking that we need to recreate it in a way that we should rather than creating the business that we want to. So really look at, is success to you? How do you want your business to support your life? And seeing that you absolutely not need to push yourself into burnout. Even if that what you're doing is really exciting and fun and you love supporting, you need to take care of yourself first. Oh, and another thing I wanted to mention around family dynamics and belonging is when we change, we also force people around us to change, and they might not like that. When we start looking at ourselves and when we start creating what we want and something different, that also forces them to looking at themselves, or maybe you're breaking some patterns around always being there for them or whatever it is, and that affects them as well, and they might not like that. So really tune into the feedback that you're getting from the people around you and just think about where they're coming from. Are they actually coming from your best interest, or are they coming from how it affects them? So the people around us are so important for what we want to create. And as I said, we don't have to cut them out. And some people we might have to. But if we don't want to, we don't have to. We can see that, okay, these are my business friends, and these are the people that I can talk business with, and this is my tennis partner or whatever it is. Like, we can compartmentalize them into different categories and just know that, yeah, okay, I don't want to talk business with this person, and that's fine. I still want them in my life because I enjoy their company in this way. So what is the big shift here that I would like you to see? Well, sometimes success threatens our connection, and that can really hold us back if we're not aware of it. What do you notice when I say that? If you really feel like you are scared of success, if you are holding yourself back in a way that stops you from creating what you want, I would encourage you to tune into that clarity. What is it really that you want to create? Is it really something you want to create, or is it something you feel like you should do? And also tune into the identity. Who are you now? Who are you with this dream of your version of success? And also tune into who do you have around you? If you heard the saying, we're an average of the 5 people we have around us. What would that mean for you if that was true? And also allow yourself to take it slow. You don't have to be a success overnight. And usually that's not how it happens. Even if we on the outside can stand and see people having overnight success, that overnight success is usually a much longer process. So really tune into that. It takes time, and that's okay. And also the question that I want to give you today is, what might change when I become successful? Just notice what comes up there. Notice what comes up for you, because the answer that comes up there says quite a lot. What came up for you? Is it, oh, I will be so busy? Or, oh, I will be happy? Or like whatever comes up, it's quite telling of why you have the fear of success. If you feel like, oh, I'm going to be so busy, well, maybe you need to look into how success looks like in a holistic way, in a way that works for you. If you feel like it's going to be too much, or if you feel like, oh, I'm going to be so happy, you can tune into, well, what would make you happy right now? Can you actually tune into that happiness and meaningfulness right now? So yeah, really tune into the answer of what might change when I become successful. And start right now. If there's something that you want to tweak, you have clarity in how you want that success to look like, start changing things now. For example, when I become successful, I will meditate every morning. Well, what really stops you from doing that right now? So that's just an example, but small elements like that, we can see that we can incorporate them right now, so we become the person that can create that success, and we can do it in a way that supports us. So yeah, the step today is really to ask that question, what might change when I become successful? And just notice your resistance. Notice what comes up for you. Usually there's always layers to things, and there's always things to look at. So how can you support yourself today to feel more safe with your success? Because your success is inevitable. Thank you for being here. If this conversation resonated with you, you're welcome to join the Healing Business Revolution letters for weekly reflections, conversations, and updates. You'll find everything at fridakabo.com. Until next time.